Good evening, traders, real-life traders from Nashville, Tennessee. This is Troy Beinhauer with Real Life Trading. This is your Wednesday stock review.
Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope you enjoyed that quick video of myself and Troy just absolutely wrecking it. I'll go over some of the stocks that he's in just a little bit. Anyway, so here's the SPY. We gapped up. We did actually have a really nice gap and go for the main part of the day. Here's the 5-minute chart, and realistically, for the first, like I was saying, I mean, really a strong while, we were just trading higher, making higher highs and higher lows, and then we eventually broke down right about there. And I actually missed that breakdown, which makes me a sad panda. But yeah, it was a really good breakdown. We kind of filled the gap for the most part. Not really shocking, since yesterday we also had a giant gap up and a fade down. It's really weird. I feel like that's happened at some point before. So anyway, on the hourly chart here on the spiders, the SPY, you can see that we do have some good gaps, and there are still some bearish trap. So the big level that I was telling everyone in the trading rooms that you're going to really want to watch, this was back on Monday. I drew these little 2 red arrows and this like mahogany arrow. This is the price that we don't need to break. And that's what I talked about on Monday. I was like, Monday afternoon really. As long as we don't break that price, we should kind of continue to go higher. And we had a decent gap. Pretty fun little move out there. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the SPY. I mean, we'll see what happens from here. Most likely tomorrow will be a little bit of an up day, and then maybe we'll get a little bit of a bearish follow through. Here's the Qs, and the Qs today actually did end up bullish on the day. This is one of my big misses because this was a beautiful gap this morning, a bullish gap and go, and you could have made some serious gainages. Again, this is the 5-minute time frame, bullish gap and go. All right, first few minutes it pulls back. You get all of this resistance right here. That's how I should have played it. There's no real excuse for me missing that trade. In fact, what I'm about to do is actually look through all the trades that I did miss today and all the trades I played pretty poorly. But that one was, man, I mean, this upper candle, let me just zoom into this gloriousness for a second. Man. So gap and go above the high of yesterday, right? We retested that resistance. Look at this. Look at this retest. So we just pulled back to that high, retest. You got an upper shadow, bullish candle, bearish candle, upper shadow, all the same price point. Entry there, stop there, easy. I mean, simple, very simple 2 hours. Now the good news is Brad and the traders in the morning room did take that trade with call options, and they did well on that. So congratulations. I just totally beefed and missed that trade, so I don't really know why. Here's another one that I missed, Salesforce. So on Salesforce, here's the daily chart on CRM, and I was talking about this one yesterday in Tech Giant Tuesday. Said, hey guys, watch this pennant pattern, keep a real close eye on a breakout of this bad boy. And it did, it had a very, very nice gap. And I was watching Salesforce this morning. I was watching on a 3-minute chart, and just, again, kind of beefed on this. I just had some whiffs. Here's the trade. You got your Morningstar-esque type of pattern. Entry should have been there. Stop loss should have been there. And again, I would have peeled off probably half of my position there. And then, yeah, I would have gotten out the rest there. It would have been a great trade. So that was another miss. Here's another miss on Dave & Buster's, PLAY. I actually did post this one in TradingView yesterday. For those of you who follow me on TradingView, over 2,400 people, by the way. Thank you for that. I truly appreciate it. So this was the Dave & Buster's gap down before earnings actually occurred. And I was like, play bearish, retest gap, and fade tomorrow. So this particular gap down, all right, I was thinking like just pretty much what I have here in the pink line, Mr. Squiggles, right? A bearish gap down, and then look for the fade. And that's mostly because it was gapping below the 200 simple moving average on the weekly. On the daily chart, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bearish candles in a row. And we were gapping down like 14%. So again, who's shorting after that much bearishness? So on the 5-minute chart, here's how I set up with the extended hours turned on. So it was really early in the morning. What I'll do is I'll kind of just replay this for you really quick. This is what exactly I was looking at before market open, was this setup right here. I was like, okay, great. What we have is we have a higher high, we have a higher low. This candle looks like it's breaking out. If I turn the moving averages on, you'll see the short-term moving averages. We were above all of those. Volume was coming in, so I was like, yeah, this looks like a really good gap, good volume. So let me just play it bullish. Well, what I should have done is at market open, just set the trade up. Set it up and just walked away and said, hey, if I lose an R, I lose an R. What I ended up doing is watching it on the 1 minute chart, and I'll go to the 1 minute chart really quick. So if I go to the 1 minute time frame, let me move this and clear this over here. So the 1 minute chart, the first candle was really bullish, and I said, man, if we take out that first minute candle, we'll probably go nice and low. And I thought too much into it. So this was the very first 1 minute candle at market open, right? Strong bullish candle, nice shaved bottom. And I was like, man, if we take out that low, we're probably gonna go lower. I just overthought it, plain and simple. Very, very nice retest, gorgeous bounce, nice pop. That would have been a 2R trade in the first 15 minutes of the day. $1 stop, by the way, folks, on Dave & Buster's. That would have been 44.80 by 43.80. It's all right. So you don't have to have a 10-cent stop to make really good trades. That would have been a killer 2R trade on Dave & Buster's, and I don't know, spooked myself out or something. But anyway, that was a miss on Dave & Buster's. Took some of PLAY. Here are the ones that I did play. VRA, VR Bradley. So VRA, I played this one well. I'm not really upset about how I played this one. So VRA, well, I'm a little bit upset. Here's the 2 minute chart. And what I should have done, and I was looking at this trade and I was actually just a little too slow on the trigger once I saw it, is you had the bullish move here, boom, 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 evening star reversal, same lows, and you had an inside candle. So when that was forming, I should have had an entry here, stop up here somewhere, and I still would have made money. I would have made money on that trade, just very, very little. It wouldn't have been a huge win, but it would have been a loss, which it was. Yeah. So anyway, what ended up happening on Vieira is if I go over here to a 5 minute chart, I took the trade once it broke down. So here's the 5 minute time frame. Once, I'll zoom in just a little bit. Okay. And here's a really strong bullish volume candle right here. And the low of that candle was 908. And the lows of these candles were 908. When these two candles broke, right, these tweezer candles at 911, when it broke down, I did a limit sell at 911 with a stop at 931. And I held and held and held and held. I got triggered in on that candle, 925. Held, and when this candle was coming in, I just exited pretty much at market for 0.33 R's of a loss on VR Bradley. So nothing too crazy there. Great job, good exit, good hold, all is good there. Here's Verizon. Pretty happy about how I played Verizon also. Could have held a little bit longer on this one, so this is one of those that if I had just walked away for 2-3 hours, it actually would have been a great trade. I did set this one up yesterday as a weekly options newsletter play, actually. So yesterday I was looking at Verizon to go lower. You can see we were looking at getting into some $60 January puts. So this gap down was really exciting. And the 5 minute chart, very, very easy play. First candle on the 5 minute chart was a bullish candle. Entry below there, stop above there, and then boom. Here's the retest number one, traded down, I exited. Perfect exit because it actually did just rally immediately as soon as I exited. I would have missed getting stopped out by a penny. And then it broke lower, and then it retested again, and then broke lower and again. Had I held it literally all day, I could have made 1 R on Verizon, but instead made only 0.25 Rs. And then I played eBay kind of poorly. So here's EBAY. This was, I don't know, C- play at best. It was a black candle gapping down. It had faded, had a little bit of a bigger upper shadow, and what I liked about it was this pattern. So if I come over here and turn this on, here's what I was looking at when I took the trade. I was like, man, this looks really good. Look at this. Huge bullish candle, a lot of room to grow, kind of like this double top looking thing, broke down, flag pattern. So I was looking for it to break lower, right? That was pretty much the setup. So this candle comes in, I was like, okay, great. I like it even more. This candle comes in, just hanging on to it. This candle comes in, so you got your evening star reversal pattern. So that's all happening. And then this candle comes in, and so we got triggered in. So opponent getting triggered in, all that was good. Held through that retracement. So that was really the first retest. And then when this happened, I was like, okay, great. You know, we should retest a little bit and then roll over. So huge retest, bigger move, and then bearish candle, and then boink. So once that candle came in, I was like, man, this doesn't look like it's gonna work. So I took the stop, put it above that upper shadow, and then blink, and then of course it crashes down. So when I say crashes down, I mean, overall in this trade, it could have maybe made 0.2 Rs. It would have been better than losing, obviously. But that is what it is, right? That happens sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna move the stop just a little bit too fast. So it happened. And on eBay's example, again, if I just left that stop alone a little bit longer, would have been fine. But we were in this trade for 11:15, yeah, a solid hour, right at an hour, and that's really about the time frame where I go, okay, well, if it's not gonna work, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out. So eBay, small loss overall on eBay. So some of the swing trades we're in, we'll go through those really quick. The official real life trading trades, Billy. So somehow still in this one and got the stop in place. Just gonna keep holding to see if that ever actually slowly continues to creep higher. But in on that, bullish right now. NIO, so NIO, we're in bullish on NIO, up on that, very small, almost too small to mention. Here's Dropbox, which is ticker symbol DBX. That one's up only 1%, hoping that rolls over some tomorrow. And then Weight Watchers, ticker symbol WTW, in bearish on Weight Watchers, hoping that kind of continues lower. Seagate Technology, ticker symbol STX, got some some puts on that one for January. So January 40, which they're pretty much at the money, and 225, so we're up very small on those, hoping that Seagate kind of rolls over some. And Blue Apron, which has been in this one for a little bit, just kind of refuses to pop. Most likely going to get stopped out very soon for half an hour loss on Blue Apron, which is fine. I just keep trying to pick the bottom on this one, and it does not look like the bottom is going to come in. Some other stocks, I mean, Nvidia. Here's all I can say on Nvidia. This is a stock that Troy is in. So Troy from the video that we just talked about, the little intro there. Troy's in some bear call spreads for next week, 160, 165, I believe. And you had a little bit of weakness on Nvidia today. Had some downgrades. It did make it did technically make a lower low. And there is a lot of support right here. So if for any reason Nvidia trades sideways and then eventually breaks down that support, I see no reason why Nvidia is not going to go lower. Here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart, we're just kind of trading sideways, got this little upper shadow. It just, I don't know, volume's declining. It just seems to me like it just wants to kind of just slowly creep down. Here's the hourly chart with the extended hours turned off, and the hourly chart with the long-term moving averages looks a little bit on the weak side. So anyway, I would just simply say that if you're playing Nvidia, there's a lot of real-life traders actually hopped in today into a 130-100 bear put spread for February, and that's about around somewhere between $4 and $6 limit, just depending on when you get in. But yeah, $100 bear put spread for February could be a play. I think it's a wise idea to have some long puts on Nvidia at this particular moment in time, because it looks like it's just going to slowly grind sideways and then eventually break lower. Last but not least, here's Apple. This was another strong miss by me today. And even though we did end with a bearish candle today, we did close bullish, right? Mr. Squiggles, this was from the stock review that I sent out yesterday, this blue line kind of showing that we thought was going to trade up and then, eventually roll over. Here was the 5-minute play, and I actually still have my entries and everything set up. This was kind of comical. So yesterday in the afternoon swing trading room, which was Tech Giant Tuesday, I made this note. A gap above 170.78 tomorrow, or later in the week could be fun for a day trade, maybe bullish swing. We opened today at 170.40. So it wasn't quite 170.78, but it was really close. And we did eventually get above there. So here was the 5-minute chart. So even though we didn't gap above, we did break above. And it was a nice gap, because here's what I was looking at. I was looking at the hourly chart. Let me just hide all my drawings here for a second. And when I was making that note yesterday, I noticed that you had this bearish candle here, kind of like this flag pattern type of thing. So it should have kind of broken down, but actually gapped up, and it gapped up above the upper shadow of this candle and the high of this candle. So I thought to myself, if it did that, because the high of that candle was 170.35. So we did open above the high of that candle. That's kind of what made me think, 170.78, 170.40, just somewhere in that general range I thought was gonna be pretty bullish. So here's the 5-minute chart, and yeah, just a bunch of really close wins today, which I'm fine with. I can live with that. That means tomorrow I'm probably gonna do pretty well. But here was the original setup that I had on Apple. I don't think you guys are gonna laugh at this. This was just a brutal miss. All right, scroll up, give me 20 seconds. Scrolling, so much good stuff on this chat pane. All right, scrolling. Okay, here it was. So 8:53 a.m. Central, I posted this setup. I was like, all right, guys, here we go. 169.67 by 168.67. And I mentioned, I was like, if this candle closes like this, gonna play this bad boy. So if we go back into that candle, you'll kind of see that, it had a very, very small upper shadow. Well, what happened is right before close, a little bit of selling came in, and this candle upper shadow got a little bit bigger. So what I did is adjusted the entry to what you see in front of you, 169.57 by 168.57, like a noob. And this candle would have filled me by 2 pennies at 169.67. Have you ever adjusted a trade by 2 cents only to miss out on $1,000? Yeah, that definitely happened on Apple. So, woe is me. That was another miss. So I missed a lot of good trades today, but I was close, right? I recognized the opportunities. I knew why they occurred. I knew why I liked the pattern. And that is equally as important. So realistically, my plan is tomorrow, do the exact same thing. Recognize opportunities, take them, lose small, win more than you lose, and just keep slowly churning and burning. Pretty pumped about it and excited about what happens from here. Folks, 2019 is just right around the corner. Hope everyone is really excited about it. And December, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, December is also about to slowly ticker away to an end. We have option expiration next Friday, and that's going to be really exciting. Be keeping a close eye on that one. Anyway, folks, that's it for me today. I will see you all later on Friday, and until then, remember, love life, and trade it. Bye.